We're at my favorite time of the year. Yes, I'll probably stop talking about my birthday after this week, maybe, because this is the end of September, right? Or no, do we have one more? Nope, sorry, we have one more week, so you're gonna have to hear me say it. But I do love this time of year. And I love the fact that my sponsor, especially my first sponsor, Gabby of Reinvented Threads, she is diving into the fall and fall colors. Reinvented Threads is a podcast sponsor of mine who I've been fortunate to have since January. And Gabby Lynn believes in sustainability. She will take existing fabric instead of creating more for the landfills. She takes existing fabric and she creates beautiful handbags. She makes bucket hats. For the winter now, you'll see cashmere beanies, scarves, warm scarves that you can stay nice and cozy in. And she's been doing these adorable Artie monster dolls. I have three of them. Yes, I just love them. So she's finished pretty much now with her. She was doing events for the summer. And I think even last weekend, she was out there with all of her stuff. But now you can shop in her online shop, reinventedthreads.com. And like I said, I know she's really diving into the beautiful fall colors into her handbags and other items. So check out reinventedthreads.com if you believe in supporting eco-friendly fashion accessories and like-minded individuals. Gabby Lynn of Reinvented Threads is creative and kind and just a great person. So follow Reinvented Threads on Facebook and on Instagram or visit reinventedthreads.com. My newest sponsor, and I'll probably stop calling her that soon because it's been since August, but that's still relatively new to me, is Healthy Lifestyle Management with Lisa Regao. Lisa is a registered nurse. She is also a plant predominant nutritionist. She is certified in mindfulness based stress reduction and offers other courses and services as well. She's actually, when this airs, I think it will be almost starting the orientation for her course. She has an 8-week full course coming up. It's mindfulness based stress reduction that she is certified in. And it's a full 8-week course where she teaches you the tools to really learn how to be present in the moment. And I will tell you, that is something I've said I want to work on. I'm trying, but I need to try harder. And every day I'm kind of reminded why when I'm setting things down and then I don't remember where I set them, or I do something and I go, if you just slow down and be in the moment, in the present, that would be great. So that is just one area that Lisa Regao works on. She's a fabulous individual. She leads Saturday morning meditations. And I can tell you, I've seen her speak twice. I've been in her meditation class before. Just being near Lisa, honestly, she's got a very calming presence. So, if you want to learn about Lisa's classes, courses, and one on one services, and heck, you don't even need to be in Northeast PA because she does do some of them on Zoom, check out Healthy Lifestyle Management. Now, her website's a little bit long, so of course, it will be in the show notes if you don't get all this now, but it's eatbreathemove.live.com. And again, that will be in the show notes. That's Healthy Lifestyle Management with Lisa Regao. And my last shout out, and if you're thinking, geez, this girl sounds like she just ran up a step. No, I probably just walking around the house. Not as fit as I used to be, and I'm also getting a little bit winded this week because I'm not feeling great. But patron sponsorship is something that I've added recently because of a friend of mine who said, I can't commit to giving you, money on a regular basis, but can I give you $20 to support you because I believe in what you're doing? I said, absolutely. So it actually sparked an idea for me. Patron sponsorships are something that you can do for $20 and you'll get a shout out. And it's that simple. So my patron sponsors for this week are Robert Torch. You can see him out and about. He's a go-getter, always raking those leaves, especially in the fall. He loves to do that. And my other patron sponsor, you might recall last week and other times when she was on the podcast, Julie Esty, the Dunmore Cemetery Tour. They are a podcast sponsor, patron sponsor. So I'd like to give a shout out to them. If you're in Northeast PA or you plan to visit the first 2 Sundays in October, be sure to check out the Dunmore Cemetery Tour at 2 p.m. You get to learn a little bit of history. You get to laugh a little, reflect, spend time out in nature, and explore the beautiful Dunmore Cemetery. Now on to the show. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Uncorked with Funny Wine Girl. This is Funny Wine Girl, Janine Luby. I will say right up front, I'm not feeling like myself, and maybe I don't sound as bad as I do in my head, but I feel like I'm really like like really not breathing properly. I got sick a couple days ago and it's hanging on here. And as I've been saying to anyone who listened today, it's that time of year, the season. I'm hearing people getting strep throat. I'm hearing people getting, COVID, all different things that are out there in the mix, that lovely petri dish of life that we, encounter. It could be the flu. It could be sinus infections, allergy. I don't know what it is, but I will just say I apologize now if I'm not as sharp as I ought to be this evening and if I'm sounding winded. But let's get on to my guest for this week. My dear friend, Gab Bonesso, who is a comedian. She is a child performer. I hate when I say that though, because it's not like she's a child performer. I say that and then I'm like, she's not a child. Well, she is. She's a big child. She's a big child. She's a performer for children with her pal Josh, and they're the Josh and Gab show. So if you here in Northeast PA or anyone listening, she is out of Pittsburgh, but they love to travel to gigs too to bring joy to kids and talk about being kind. And they sing original music. They're a rocking good time. And she's also a mental health advocate. She's just an all around cool individual. Welcome, Gab Bonesso.
Thanks for having me, Janine. Happy continued birthday month, and I'm sorry you're sick.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I know people. It's so funny when I meet people who are like, they don't even want to celebrate their birthdays. And I'm like, why? I love it. I absolutely just have fun celebrating it all the time. It's like, ooh, birthday lunch. Ooh, another birthday lunch. Yeah, bring it on.
Yeah, my family did we'd celebrate the whole month. I don't really particularly love, I do now. I didn't when I was younger because there was always like bad things would happen on my birthday. So I'm like, I'll pass. But now I love it. I'm just grateful to be alive. So no, I totally get it.
Cool. Let me ask you, and excuse me, pardon me. This is not exactly what I had planned on talking about, but I thought of it earlier and I wanted to get your take on this. So I'm not feeling great. I was a little sick Sunday night, but it's kind of like lingering. It's not so bad that I'm like, I have to be in bed, but I don't feel like myself. My ears feel blocked. I feel like I have a stuffed head, little headache, whatever. What's your policy or where are you at when it comes to, I was just thinking of this earlier. There's this philosophy that we have to push, right? Like, oh, you gotta keep going, especially when you work for yourself and you're an entrepreneur. It's like, oh, let me just suck down some vitamin C and an energy drink and blah, blah, blah. But there's also the taking care of yourself so you don't get run down, but also the courtesy of could you potentially get somebody sick? So what's your stance on that? What's your take on that?
Yeah, I guess because I work with Josh directly and we share equipment and stuff like that. I do still test for COVID if I think it's COVID, because I almost died from COVID, as you recall. So I know that the effects of that. But I can't really test for the flu. I don't have like home flu test, but I usually can tell when it's the flu. But no, but I push through, like even if I'm sick, because we can't, it's two people's income are based on it. But when I had COVID pneumonia and was in the ICU and all that jazz, I mean, we lost a month's worth of work. We eventually got it back, but I mean, it does affect two people. So we both do try to push through, but if it's laryngitis, there's no pushing through that. Pink eye, anything that's, that you could catch, you have to kind of cancel it. And also you have to take care of you. So if you're sick and it's also affecting your mental well-being, and you're not going to be great out there. So I mean, I think if there's like lots of factors, but I do think it's harder when you work for yourself. You will tend to push through. If you don't get paid, you're gonna work.
Yeah. And I think I don't know that unless people have done it, I don't know that they fully understand that. Like we don't have like sick days where we have like I mean when I used to work for Blue Cross, it was awesome. We had my gosh, I think they gave us 9 or 10 sick days. And they were back then, they were super generous because it was just hours like you could take. They didn't care if you were legit sick. It was like, oh, doctor appointment, or you could say it was that it didn't matter. So, but now, like to your point, like we don't like if we now yesterday, because I wasn't feeling well, I was supposed to do laughter yoga, but thankfully, this is something that's a contracted agreement with Scranton Counseling Center. I've done 5 and we have 2 left. So I did put it in the agreement that, I mean, not to like there wouldn't be any issue, like we would just reschedule. So I've rescheduled it. But then I had a marketing meeting. So I had to reschedule with that gentleman. So thankfully, it's not going to end up in being an actual loss of money. But I mean, it does get to that point. I've backed out of I think it was last February. I didn't do a comedy show because I had a really scratchy throat. I didn't feel great and I didn't want to get anyone else sick. So, I lost some money. It wasn't my show. And that was the other thing I want to just mention. Sometimes you kind of factor in, well, who else am I affecting? And the gentleman who had me on the show, I was only doing a 10-minute spot. And I don't say only like I didn't appreciate that, but he had two other performers and himself. So I'm like, they're not going to be really shortchanged because I would not want to leave someone in the lurch. But I lost money on that and lost like people I knew because it was a local show. They're like, oh, we were disappointed. We didn't get to see it. Like I was disappointed too that I didn't get to do it. And I remember once years ago, this had to be 8 or 9 years ago, I did do it with almost like I knew that afterwards I'd be wrecked because my throat hurt so bad. And I did still have a voice, but it was like hanging on. And after that night, it was like it was done. But I mean, you do like it's hard. It's just a balancing act, I think. Like to your point, when you do work for yourself, you're not getting that money back in most cases.
No, and I also am very old school theater, and it's like the show must go on, so so I've done shows. I remember when I was on severe, like I was on antipsychotics and they were destroying my stomach and I could not stop throwing up and I'd lost like 40 pounds rapidly and I had to do this big thing in Pittsburgh. It's called First Night and it's the big New Year's Eve thing, and I was doing three sold out shows at the O'Reilly Theater downtown. Not because I'm me, just because these things just sell out. You know what I mean? It's just like any first night, all the events sell out. Doesn't matter who's the star. But it was just me solo doing these shows, and I would do an entire show and then like crawl to the green room, vomiting. And I remember the staff at the O'Reilly Theater like popping their head in and being like, she gonna be okay for the next show? My mom being like, yes, dear. She's just been really sick for a long time. But I mean, like, it didn't look good either. Like the optics weren't great. Probably maybe should have bowed out, but it was like a really good payday and I couldn't pass it up. But yeah, I always like when I go get my mammogram every year, I like, I'm always like, please let everything be okay. And then the second prayer is I can't afford to get sick. Like I literally can't like
Yeah.
I will have to take a job at Costco to get health insurance to, deal with cancer or any major illness. So yeah, it is terrifying when you work for yourself. And I don't think people know that.
No, no. And I mean, again, I can't understand what it's like to be like a parent because I'm not, but like, I think people, unless they've been in this situation, don't realize that. Yeah, it is scary. Interesting. You mentioned real quick, First Night. We used to do that in Scranton too. I used to love that. They stopped doing it a handful or so years ago, but I remember performing, I think I performed one year with the improv and there was, it was a great event throughout the whole downtown of Scranton and they had fireworks and stuff. I missed that, but that was a really cool event. People out and about celebrating. Yeah, that was
I
neat.
did it for truly like from the minute I started stand up until like even then Josh and I started doing it together. Like I've truly done it. And when I stopped doing it, it was kind of nice too, because it was like every year I never had a New Year's. Like I never had a New Year's Eve that I wasn't working. So not that I wouldn't do it if they called back, but I don't miss it necessarily. I think I did so much that I was just like, and the last year I did it, I found a dead body like
Oh,
hours before the show.
what?
I ran out to the mall to get an outfit, and when I was coming home, there was a dead body on the side of the road. Thank God it was New. Well, at the time I was like, thank God it's New Year's Eve. That's like I don't want to start my year seeing a dead body. But then that was the beginning of 2020, so it really was a bad year. So I do think it was a bad omen. Janine, oh, Janine, that is one where I wish we can get the 911 call. I swear to God, because Daffy Duck. Like Daffy Duck finds a dead body. I'm driving home. I see it on my left and I'm like, "Oh my God, there's a dead body. There's a dead body." So I turn around and then my car's facing the dead body and I call 911 and then I'm like, "Wait a minute. Oh no, they're gonna think I hit the." So I'm like, "Hey, I found a dead body. I pulled my car around and I'm facing it, but I didn't hit it. I swear. I hope someone has a camera around." Like I'm literally babbling. They're like, "Can you go look at the body?" I'm like, "Absolutely not. I've gone through too much trauma in my life. I cannot go look at the body." They're like, "Just stay in the car. Stay in the car until the police come." It was madness. And then I had to go do First Night. Yeah.
Oh my God. That's not
Always
something you
something.
see every day.
No, and then 2020 happened, the pandemic. Oh,
Oh man. Yeah,
um,
that we were doomed. We were cursed for that
yeah,
for sure.
yeah. That was my future. That was my sign. Oh,
Oh wow. It's along those lines only because I was just watching this a few minutes earlier and then I turned it off. I started watching the Charlie Sheen documentary on Netflix. I don't know if you were, it just came out recently,
I
I
haven't
guess, but
seen it yet, but I'm interested.
just the beginning where he talked about something I didn't know about him, that he was born like kind of born dead, so to speak, like the cord was wrapped around his neck and like they had to bring him back to life, and just kind of like about starting off the year, but like that's how his life started out. Like he's like, so I was dead when I was born. So that's an interesting, like, okay, so that's how things got started. Yeah.
That feels like not just a Charlie Sheen line, but like something a character he would play with. I was born dead, babe. You know what I mean? Like Jennifer Grey and Ferris Bueller. I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't trust that guy. I'm gonna be honest. And there's some bad accusations about him.
About Charlie Sheen.
Yes. Do you know
Yeah.
what I'm talking about?
You know what? To me, I just think his whole life has been such a hot mess that like I don't know which. I mean, abuse. I think obviously we know.
Yes.
Yeah, abuse. Yeah, that he
Yeah.
abused exes or girlfriends or.
Well, Corey Feldman claims that he did something horrible to Corey Haim on the set of.
Oh, okay,
I
okay,
don't
yeah.
know. I don't know that in Corey's documentary, it felt real, but then
Mhm.
apparently Charlie denies it in this documentary. I didn't see it though.
Okay, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, to me, he's such a hot mess that I would believe anything, only because like why not? He
Right.
seems to have done just about anything and everything, and that's some not so good stuff in there. I'll be honest, I turned it off because I was getting bored. I imagine again because he was talking about like just kind of I don't want to say mundane stuff because playing basketball with Michael oh my God, help me out. Jordan, Chicago, right?
That's what, yeah.
Yeah,
Like the
he
best
was in
whatever. Michael Jordan, yeah.
yeah, Michael Jordan, him and his father, Martin Sheen, were doing some kind of charity thing. And it was just, but like there was a whole 4 minutes dedicated to like how many baskets they made and everything. And I'm like, you're Charlie Sheen. You're HIV positive. I imagine you still are, because I don't think that just goes away.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff to talk about. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna move on.
Yeah.
I got bored. Which and this could be another time. I mean, okay, I don't want to get started on this, but maybe I will. But like me being bored, turning it off, that's kind of how we are now, which is really kind of a problem. How we need like so much, like I need death, I need this, I need that, or else I turn it off. And I'm not proud of that. I'm certainly not proud of that fact that I did that.
No, you just want people to work for your attention at this point.
Yeah, I guess. But yeah, I do like it was just a little too boring. But then again, it could be me where I'm at now. Like I'll be honest, between I'm on hormone replacement, I don't see them doing anything great yet. It's been 2 months. I don't know, maybe it's working in the in the backwards and giving me not good effects, but it could just be where I'm at in my headspace with what I've got going on in my life. But like Saturday night, I think it was, I tried to watch two different movies, turn them both off. My attention span, I don't know what it is. The first one was Wolfman, the newer one with
Okay.
I forget the actress's name. I want to say Julie or Juliet. She was in Ozark. She's fantastic.
Okay.
The little blonde. And I don't know the full story because my friend, well, Oliver, he was texting me that he liked it, and I'm texting him like, well, I don't know, it's about to be turned off, and he's like, oh, I forgot who I'm dealing with, because I said I don't really love the movie oh, Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Help me out here. That one.
Wizard of Oz?
Yeah, that one. Wizard of Oz. It's his favorite movie. And I said, I haven't seen it since I was a kid. And I don't remember loving it. But he's like, oh yeah, I forgot who I was talking to here. And he's like, well, I think it's an interesting take on Wolfman. And I'm like, well, I never saw the original, and I don't know if there is a book. I never read it. Point being, I was like, yeah, I'm turning it off. Then I found this kind of more indie film, although it did have Kira Sedgwick, Kevin Bacon's wife. She
Yeah.
was in it, and Skarsgård, the guy who played the clown. I think that
Okay.
was Bill Skarsgård. So there was a cast of people who've been in other movies, but I guess it was like more indie, and it was called Villains. And it was weird, interesting. So I think I will go back to it. But even that, I was like, I didn't sleep well the night before. It was only like 8:30 or quarter to 9, but I'm like, yeah, I think I'm just gonna go to bed. I turned off both movies, and I'm like, what is wrong with me?
No, I get it. There's just sometimes I just can't focus on something. Even a 30-minute show. I'm like, I can't. No, not it's not grabbing me. I can't do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just like, yeah. And now, I mean, hell, there's other days. The Hunting Wives, or whatever the hell that's called. I didn't finish it, but boy, that grabbed me. And I think I only have one episode left, but like some things will grab me right in. The other night though, I'm just like, you know what? Bed is sounding better. I'm tired, and that just sounds better to me. But so let's talk about you, Gab. What are you still working at the is it a dispensary? Are you still doing that job or no? Because when you said before I'll have to start
Oh,
working at Costco, I was like, wait a minute.
ooh. No, I'm giving them, I'm trying to give them some hours every week. I'm trying, it's been, yeah, it was, it just got, I just, wow, I went through a lot there. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
Made me question everything I feel about medical cannabis. The things I thought I loved, I was no longer loving. I walked away from medical cannabis as a patient for a hot minute. It just really opened up my eyes to a lot of things, but I worked on it. I talked to my therapist about it. We got to a good place. So if I'm only there 8 hours a week on two shifts that are divided between 4 hours, I can manage being there. Yeah, I can do it. But it was not, and no, it wasn't working out for Gab. It was too much. It was too much. Yeah, too much, too much.
Okay. So but you're there, but you're limiting it. You're putting some more
Very, very
boundaries in
limiting.
place there.
Oh, yes, 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 yes. I mean, look, I think there's potential for it to be something. It could be, it could be, it could be. It just, there's just, oh, I don't want to speak ill of the place, but a lot of just, well, I think I did it in the comedy routine. A lot of people who aren't able to work sober, and it just makes it for a very frustrating work experience.
Yeah. Oh, I'd probably be out of there like in a hot minute. Like I I don't think I could handle that. No,
I
no.
mean, literally, people are just leaving constantly. The fact that I haven't is more my with like I'm trying to like just kind of have patience and see this through. And I do think I bring a lot there. I bring a lot to the table. So like I was employee of the month, I've won some awards. I feel like I can lead by example, and I bring a nice levity and fun. Like, so all my coworkers are very sad I'm not there as often these days. So that makes me feel good, and I've made some nice relationships with the patients. So I do think there's potential for good, but they just have to straighten some stuff out over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
No, hey, and you have to put yourself first. And if it wasn't working for you, then it's not working. Yeah. Yeah.
And the manager is really kind, and he understands that I'm very busy with my real work. So he's just like, do you, and be here when you can. And we appreciate it. So it's very, very good. Like in that sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I was
Good.
burned out, like, because I was maximizing my, minimum or, my part-time hours. And that was just like, they were like 10-hour shifts. It was just
Oh,
like,
wow.
it was a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of being busy, you and Josh do the Josh and Gab show. You are out in schools, so it is turn it on, baby. It is full force. You guys are back out there. And I have to ask, I've been loving these all these different videos. Like, do you have someone different doing it, or did you guys just decide, all right, we're gonna take a new approach? Because I'm loving the videos you're doing. They're awesome. They're adorable.
We started a TikTok account. So we're just taking what our ideas that we do on TikTok, and we brought them over to Instagram. But yeah, we more of the kids are over there, and we just thought I don't know. Josh went to school for film. I'm an actress. It just made more sense to maybe start trying to segue into more like comedy videos here and there. We are part comedy, not just music. So I was like, all right, we can do that. And then we're running a contest. So every school we go to, if the teachers and the students and the parents comment the most, whatever school does that the most, we'll give either a free concert or we'll help you with your a fundraising event. So we'll be the act at your fundraising event or something for free for the school that. So it's like a contest kind of a thing too. So
That's really cool. And then
yeah,
this is yet another reason why I wish you lived closer because I need someone like a you or a Josh or both of you like to help me because your videos are adorable. I love them. And I see so many people doing these like fun, clever videos. And I have the ideas and the stuff, but like I don't have the skill set or I haven't learned it yet. I don't think it's like, brain surgery, but I didn't take, I'm not that great with the camera and I don't know all the little tricks and stuff. And I'm like partially busy and partially lazy that I'm not learning it. But I have to say I'm loving what you guys are doing. So I think they're great.
well, there's a little app for Instagram. I don't know if you got it. It's called Edits, and so that has a ton of
Oh.
special effects. You can add music, like so you could do all the video editing there, and then it immediately goes to Instagram.
Oh,
It's
okay.
very similar to TikTok, and I think TikTok really can do half the work for you. You know what I mean? In terms of the editing or montage and stuff like that. I really was pushing for us to do it too, just because we can use our own music from the album on our TikToks, which count as plays. So it all like ends up with your streams. So I was like, we should do that too, just to have, just get our stuff out there.
Very cool. I want to talk about the album. The is it Edits is the name of it's an app, is it, or is it on Instagram?
Well, I did get it through Instagram, but it's a separate app and it's
Okay.
connected to Instagram. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But
That would probably be helpful. Although I will say with TikTok, I have an account, but I do very little. And I took a major break. I went back to it. My friend Tina Gallagher, who is a romance author, God love her, she is always trying different things. And she'll crack up because she'll say she'll work really hard on something and it'll get like maybe 50 views. And then there's something she doesn't expect, it'll get like 1,000 or 2,000. And I'm like, I'm like, I don't even, I barely, I don't try because she's tried to show me different things and I'll see them and I'm like, how do you do a stitch now? And there's so many different trends and they come so quickly and pass so quickly that I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna like not bother right now. But I would like to.
no,
But
it's fun and it's good to have Josh to do it with too. You know, I've been doing TikTok for a while, but it is more fun to have like, someone holding the camera or, spitting ideas, and Josh and I just we have very similar senses of humor, so no idea is too crazy or silly for either of us.
no, I think that's great. You have someone to bounce things off of. And yeah, you're right. I mean, you guys have known each other for so long. I'm sure it's also so easy for you both because you do know each other so well and you're creating art together. So, speaking of, you guys have an album out. Tell me about this.
We do. We have a new album. It's called The Best of Josh and Gab. I'm really excited about it. I really am. I know I said this about my comedy album, but it's like very rare when I put something out and I'm like, no, this was good. You should listen. So I'm really excited. I think it's 12 tracks. Um, all the hits. So Glue Stick, Jackrabbit, the Nuggie song, of course. That was we never have recorded that, so that was the most brand new track. We re-recorded a couple of the tracks we previously had. Um, a track we had done for a mashup between a local restaurant and a haunted house is on there. It's called the Scare House Shake. I really like that one. The song I put on my comedy album that I wrote for Oscar, we also put on because Josh
Ah,
played on that and produced it, so it is technically the best of Josh and Gab. Our one and only jazz song I wrote, it was the very first song I wrote for Josh and Gab called Rats. It's absurd. And that's on the album. So no, I'm really and the Know Me, which is a very song that's personal to me about like just going, like how no people at school think they know you, but they've never even talked to you. So until you sit down and actually talk to someone, you don't know them. And that's sort of the idea of that song. And it has like a breakdown about being different, unique, and special, and like embracing it and being excited to be you and loving yourself kind of a vibe. So, my typical agenda of trying to get kids to love themselves and be kind.
that's not a bad agenda, by the way.
My typical gab crap.
Oh, that
Trying to
stuff.
get
You
kids
want
to be
kids to
nice.
have a self-esteem and stuff.
Oh, I mean, I can't even quit my summer job because I feel guilty. So no, I feel like if I'm helping people, I gotta stay. Yeah, but no, yeah, no, I'm very glad to be busy with Josh and getting back to doing the things that I love. And not that I don't, you know what I'm saying, doing my
No,
real
I know.
my job, my business, what I feel like I was put on earth to do. So
Yeah.
that makes me very happy. I'm in a very good place that way.
Good. And so for anyone listening that's not sure, I mentioned before that Josh and Gab have the Josh and Gab show and they do original songs and they were here last summer. So not it was 2024. They were here and they through the Humor Therapy Fund grant, they were brought in here to perform for some of the kids at the Boys and Girls Club, the younger kids. And so I got to see it, of course, because the Humor Therapy Fund, that's my baby. I got to be there, take photos, orchestrate the media that was there, which we got a really nice turnout for media. My
Yeah.
gosh, we had two TV stations there. And I think it got in the paper as well, but it was awesome. And so I got to watch the kids getting up and down, just shaking their little tushes, which was so funny. But watching and hearing Gab's story about the glue stick and the jackrabbit, I have to say that was like really catchy. I was like tapping my toes. So they have these original songs and the album is out now. So where can people get the album?
Yeah, so if like whatever streaming you use, so it's definitely on like Apple Music, Amazon, what are all the other ones? YouTube Music, Tidal. I mean, anywhere you can stream music, you can get Pandora. I mean, I think it's on
Oh wow.
absolutely everything. You just but Best of Josh and Gab will get you the entire compilation album. And yeah, we're pretty excited about it. We used our normal guy, his name is Jay Canner. He just done all our albums, every track we do with him, and he's great. He's like kind of Pittsburgh's main guy. Um, And it's fun for him, I think, like because I'm the one that song I was talking about, "Know Me," where it's sort of about getting to know people. I did one take and I was like, oh, I don't like that one, Jake. I like the other one better. I felt like that one I was, doing the way I do it in the assembly. It was a little too. And he's like, no, I want it because it's sincere. And I was like, I'm not gonna fight you on this one. All right, if I'm gonna trust you. And like when I listen to it now, I'm like, I think Jake was right. Like I should do it the way I would do it for the kids, because that's what they're kind of expecting. So, yeah, yeah. Anyway, I'm excited about it. If you like kids music, I mean, I like to think our music is a little bit, it's not like, you know, the moo moo cow cow go goes wow wow. Like it's not like, they're actual lyrics. So,
Yeah, no, I can attest to that because, like I said, I was there that day at the Boys and Girls Club, and I'm like, the Jack Rabbit. I was like, you can really get into the songs. It's like you're saying, yeah, it's not like moo moo cow cow. It's like there
yeah.
are real words and there's a real lesson, there's a real story. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, it's not just for the kiddos. I think families could listen to it, or just people who like different kinds of music.
Yeah, and I will say though, the Moo Moo Cow Cow, I said to Josh last, like we were at a gig, a daycare gig, and we kind of can be a little more casual at those gigs. And I was like, I really, Josh, all those like artists who are for kids that are just like women in sundresses with an acoustic guitar, and somehow they have 9 billion listens and we have zero. I think I need to start presenting as Karen Settlemeyer, and I sing songs like the Moo Moo Cow Cow says wow wow as he walks in the grass. And I like wrote this cheesy song and he's like, the problem is that's even better than the song get 9 billion listens. I'm like, I know. Like I feel like Josh and I would be a really good like we're sort of like Death to Smoochie, you know what I mean? We're like the bad, not the bad kids, but the ADHD kids who got to go back and say, okay, look guys, love yourselves and be nice, but we weren't like the perfect students, if that makes sense. So I don't know. Like half our songs have me running in halls, and I'm like, we go in and present positive behavior, and yet in the lyrics, it's like Gab's running in the hallway. You're not allowed to run, guys. Remember, just because I said I did it doesn't mean it's right.
And she even runs around the pool too.
I'm a mess. I'm a mess.
Bad
Oh,
girl.
we're gonna be in Allentown tomorrow. At first, I said, "Oh, I'll be near,"
Oh,
but it's not really near you.
well, it's an hour and 15 minutes, an hour and 20 minutes. Are you at a school there?
Yeah, yeah. It's for fifth and sixth grade. Governor Ridge, I think is what it's called. The name of the school.
Okay, yeah. Our governor for a while was Tom Ridge, and then he went on to be director of Homeland Security. I don't know if he's
Oh
still
my gosh,
alive or not.
I didn't even
Yeah.
think they were naming it after Governor Ridge. That's hilarious.
I mean, I'm just guessing. I'm spitballing here. I don't know.
I mean, yeah,
I would imagine.
maybe it's from that town or something.
Yeah, yeah. I forget where he was from. Yeah, it could be. So you'll be in Allentown tomorrow. Well, you have to keep me posted when you're anywhere that's coming east, just so I know. Because, well, again,
I
yeah,
might be
it's
coming to Philly. Vicky had reached out for December for me to come out because I'm not going to be able to do the Pittsburgh Disability Pride because Josh and I have 4 shows that day and it just didn't work
oh
out.
my gosh,
So she was like,
wow.
"Are you available to come to Philly in just early December?" And I was like, "Yes, please. I'd love to."
Please let me know when that is because if I can make it, I will go visit Oliver at the same time and we can
That would
go
be
over and see you.
that would be so fun.
Yes, definitely. And speaking of Oliver, I don't know if he'll mind me sharing this. I hope he doesn't mind, but I'm just so happy for him. He had moved from North Carolina to Philly, and the job market out there has been challenging. And he just got good news today that he got a job. So I'm so happy for him. It's very
Congratulations, Oliver.
yeah, so shout out Oliver. Please don't be upset. I hope you don't mind me saying it's good news though. So I'm excited for him because it's tough out there. My gosh, going through all these different interviews, making it to like 3 or 4 interviews, and then it's like nope. It's
Yeah.
not fun. Yeah. Okay. I'm not my usual self today, so I'm just like, yeah, okay, what else can we what else is new with you, Gab? I don't like sometimes I'll get on topical stuff and I'm not gonna get on topical stuff now because I think we both know how that can go, right? With all
Oh,
the
yeah.
topical stuff, it's just too much right
Too
now.
much. Too much. Too much. Too much. Too much. Too
Is
much.
too much. So on that note, I would say to people maybe and I think Josh Gab can agree with this. Maybe take some time off social media is always helpful. And we've talked about this before
Yeah.
because with all of the stuff that has been going on, like I found myself getting really aggravated with a lot of posts and found myself yelling at my phone and just like I mean, as Gab and I mentioned before, being like, there are different challenges when you work for yourself. And obviously, social media has to be a part of that. If you're trying to sell yourself or sell a product, I'm trying to sell, hey, listen to my podcast. Hey, come to my comedy show. You know, when I get on there and I talk live and I'm just rambling, that's just me, I guess, dealing with my perimenopause and just life, which, again, no one has to listen to anything. But the other stuff, it's kind of almost required if you have a business to be on there. But I would strongly suggest getting it off of it because I'm at a place now where I'm on and off quicker than I've been. These past 2 weeks, I'm definitely on and off quicker because even people I like and agree with in certain things, I just can't. And it's starting to really like look really drony for me. And I'm just like sick of this, sick of this, sick of this, sick of this. And yeah, so that's what I would say. The only thing I'll say about topical stuff now is take a break from social media. Yeah.
Definitely. Well, and and I think with everything in life, be intentional. So for me, like, I don't like social media. It's not social for me. It's not fun for me. It usually just really bums me out. So for me to use it it's just for work, So even while, sad things are happening, I still am like, well, but that's not what I'm about. I've really stopped kind of sharing how I feel about politics publicly. I really, I'm my own, like, it's about my act. I'm pushing out my business. That's what I'm really doing. And my business is to bring joy to kids, and I feel like that's always needed right now. So, okay, Josh and I can still post videos this week, even though there are horrible tragedies happening everywhere, um, because we're posting joy. And if joy offends you right now, then I'm so sorry. Maybe you, like Janine said, you shouldn't be on social media right now if you can't, if that's offensive, that I'm not being political this week or not saying anything because I just would rather just be intentional with my posts and why I'm even on social media. But I've
Yeah.
had like such a wild relationship with social media. I mean, and it's also difficult. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. There was a little paranoia where I'm like, oh no, we talked about my summer job at the beginning of this. Will that offend people who want to hire me for my children's act? And it's like, well, no, I worked in a medical facility where I truly help people with all types of really serious diseases. So if someone were to judge, you'd be amazed at how many teachers are my patients. But anyway, that's not the point. Parents, everybody, that's the reality. Like, it is a medical facility. It is helping all people. So I can't worry about that. I really like let that kind of stuff go. But I also just, I'm trying to, I like bringing joy to people. I like connecting with people. I like meeting people where they are. So I don't know. I just feel like I'm in a different place than a lot of people. Like, I am able to kind of, I don't know. I say to my sister, it's like, I don't need to have any ownership on the words in a conversation if our ideas are connecting. Meaning, like, if it's about religion and you and I have different religions, I don't need to keep saying who my God is. If we're talking about having similar moral compasses and relying on faith in times of challenges, then like we're vibing, and it doesn't matter who we vibe with in our personal moments. So I don't know. I just try to like focus on that kind of stuff right now, and you just still connect. Like, if aren't, like, connection is the only way we are. I mean, not to, I've been trying to make a video and I haven't succeeded at it, but like, I just would like to work on the united part of this country.
Mm,
Right? We're supposed to be the United States. And I honestly, since college, I haven't felt like we are a United States. Like,
yeah.
it has just been division, division, division. And, we have to, or we're going to die as a country. So we've got to do something. We've got to do something.
Yeah. No, you're 100% right. And I'll say I love what you said though cuz it's true, like being intentional on social media and putting out the joy. And I find myself like in a weird space because I feel like with my business Laugh to Live, I do believe, and we've talked about this before, like if I'm doing laughter yoga, I don't care what people's like voting is or religion is, and I don't ask. It's not discussed. That's not like when I'm out there leading it for whatever the client is, that's not part of the conversation. I don't want it to be part of the conversation. What I want is for all of us in that moment, like today I did it for first responders. Well, I'm sure there are people in that group that think differently than me about a lot of different things. We're talking, some cops, some ambulance, folks, some paramedics, and I mean, they were a little bit of a tough audience, and they kind of said that themselves. But like, I don't mean disrespect with that, but they were a little like, with laughter yoga, you've seen it. It's the ho ho ha ha. It seems a little silly. There's a little resistance, but at the end of the day, by the end, they're still kind of like smiling, they're clapping, they're laughing. We're there together at Camp Freedom, which is a place above Carbondale's. It's north of northeast of Scranton, and it's for first responders and veterans and their families to come. They can hunt, they can fish, they can walk around the property. And I've had conversations, last time I was there with the owner, and he talked about like his hunting trips and all that. And he even kind of like mentioned, I'm sure there's some people, I mean, like acknowledging that not everyone in this walk would agree necessarily, but my point is being there today, it was beautiful. I saw a few deer as I was driving up there, and it's just peaceful. And that's what nature just sets my heart, like it calms me all the time. And being with that group of people, I don't want there to be difference, and I'm leading it. So that's like a big part of who I am. But then I'll admit I don't want to say guilty of, because then it's just putting shame on me, but I am responsible, I guess you could say, for like sometimes getting on there and spewing because I'm so upset from what I'm struggling with that because I'm trying to do better, because I do feel that I'm doing still a good job at putting joy out there, and I want to keep doing that. But then I kind of find myself getting sucked into, like I have to say how I feel. And to be honest, I'm cracking up at some of the posts, which is why I'm getting off it. Like everyone's got to like share their 2 cents. Like, well, I'm like, we're all doing fine. Not everyone has to comment on the state of the world or the state of what just happened. Like it's okay. You don't have to comment. But I say that as someone that's commented on it. So, I'm a hypocrite too. But
Well, I mean, I just think back to my childhood and like, thank God that none of the neighbors were posting on, all their political My mom and I got along, we got along with everybody. You know what I mean? It was a nice way to grow up. We played, like, I remember sometimes when it was election time, the kids might be like, who's your dad voting for? Who's your mom voting for? My parents are this. My parents are split household. And we moved on with our lives. We didn't like pound each other over it. And it was just a different time. And I do think social media has made everybody think their opinion needs to be broadcast. And guess what? It doesn't. And wow, I'm truly like, I'm at a point now where I'm just like, I work so hard in therapy, and I'm like, why doesn't anyone else think they need to regulate their emotions? At least before they start going on social media. Like, wouldn't that like maybe be a divine idea? I don't know. I just don't know anymore. I just don't know. And then the people who do the all like, well, I didn't see anyone post about this, but I saw somebody post about this. And there were these many things happening, but nobody posted about those many things happening. I'm like, why are you watching and monitoring what people are posting? Please do something for you. Drink water and go for a walk. I am worried about everyone right now. Like, I mean it, everyone. I just worry. If I'm online, I'm worrying about every single human being. I'm just like worried, 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 worried. And I hate
yeah.
suffering. I don't like suffering of anyone. Of anyone. I don't want anyone to suffer. Sorry. That's how I am. And then people think that's an easy take. Well, I don't. I don't like suffering. I don't. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, I know, and I hear you. I want to do better though myself, because I find myself like I don't need to be commenting and stuff, and but then I'm also like I also do believe, like you do believe, like I want to keep highlighting the joy and reminding people that we can still be responsible for creating joy. Like not only like not trying to find it. This is my realization a couple weeks ago when I was doing something on Facebook or Instagram, when I was saying find it. We don't have to be explorers. Like it's a matter of setting the phone down and paying attention, setting whatever you have down and looking up, because it's not even about finding, it's just seeing it. Like there's like even today on my drive, 3 deer, beautiful. That I was fortunate to be able to be doing this. And I was nervous, of course, because I was worried about the audience, and I was like, oh my God, I don't know if they're gonna like me, blah, 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 all that stuff. But that's my hangups. But like there's stuff right in front of us, and then the opportunity that we can create. We all can create. If you don't see it, make something. And I know it's so corny. It's like be the good that you want to see in the world or whatever. But it's corny, but it's true, because it's like, well, this should be and that should be. Well, do it. And I mean, I think you and I can both say this as people who are out there doing things that we believe in. And I'm not patting myself on the back, but we're doing things. And even with my restart program about like picking up litter, I'm doing the things that I believe in. And I'm not saying, hey, look at me, I'm awesome, but I'm saying, hey, you can do it too. You can create good stuff too. And today I spoke about like I didn't just do the laughter yoga. I talked about humor to build resilience. And I always bring up Viktor Frankl. And I mean, I've always quoted him about how he talked about it. It helped him in a concentration camp. He lost his parents, he lost his wife, he lost his brother. But I was reading a little bit more about him but this morning to prepare before I did it. And like his whole thing really was this idea that nothing is too tragic to not be able to rise above it. Like, and maybe there are people who would disagree with that, but like he's more or less, you can find a way to have lightness no matter how serious or tragic it is. And I mean, he proved that for finding, even like he said, humor, like for moments, just allowing yourself to rise above or to get space from your tragedy or your trauma for even just a few moments is something that he says humor can do. And I think that's so powerful.
I 100% agree. And I think, like, I think of my time with my mom as her caregiver, and some of our best laughs were in a hospital or in a waiting room, because they suck. You're just doing it 5 days a week. We're constantly at appointments. We're dragging ourselves in, depending on, she had mobility issues. It was always something, but we would find ways to make each other laugh, have a good time. And I would just think, Mom, we are so lucky. Like, we are sitting in this hospital, laughing our asses off right now, having the best time ever. Like, we're not letting this bring us down. Like, and I definitely, that part of resilience I know I get from my mother. I hate to like do comparative with my mom or dad, but like when they both approached death, my father was extremely defeatist and my mother never gave up to the very end. And like those were her orders. You keep fighting till the very end for me. She was, resuscitate at all costs. Like she was very just, and my father, just the minute he heard cancer, was like, see ya. And just
Mm,
like he just was so morbidly depressed that you just couldn't even try to get him to believe he was going to live. And I mean, maybe he knew something we didn't, but I do feel like I definitely get my resilience from my mom, because she had a horrid childhood and she always found the like glimmers. My mother lived off of glimmers. Her highlights were the birdies whistling in the morning and the sunset off her deck. And and one of the things I always loved about my mom, and I try to practice, is my mom genuinely was always happy for other people. So if we were like watching the news and someone won the lottery, my mother was always like, oh, God bless them. That is so great. Oh, how wonderful for them. I'm so happy. And like everyone else would be like, why are you happy? You played the lottery. You didn't win. And she'd be like, yeah, but they did. And that's so great. Like she never resented people for like, if neighbors got something new, she'd be like, "Oh, did you? Oh, that's so great! I'm so happy for my friend Charlotte. She got a new stove, or what? Always." And I think that's a really good way to be. But it came from a woman who truly, like as a child, went through the depths of hell. And so I think
mm.
there's a lot to that. Like I think you almost are more appreciative sometimes the more you suffer.
Yeah. Well, and I will say my hat's off to your mom because I'm not proud of it, but I am not someone who goes, "Well, good for them. They won." That's not me. I'm
Look, she
sorry.
was a she was a tough lady, man. She was rougher and tougher than anyone I've ever known, but she could be very happy for other people.
That it's so funny that's wonderful because I'll never forget this conversation with my friend Kristen, and I give her shout outs because she doesn't listen. I'm like, shout out Kristen, but then I'll tell her, hey, you got to shout out, you got to listen. I'll never forget. Well, I do not recall the real specifics of it, but it was something about her. I think it was way back when she was dating, and she would come to me, with the crying when it was like not going well, and we had some fun times when she come over my house. I'd be in like I was wearing like boxer shorts, drinking a Yingling, and I was wrapping Christmas presents. She's like, "What have I stumbled upon here?" I'm like,
Uh,
"Yeah, come on in." But I forget what breakup it was, and she said something about her happiness, and I'm like, I'm like, "Well, sure, yeah, you could be happy." I go, "It doesn't do anything for me, but sure, I want you to be happy. It just doesn't do anything for me if you are." And she's like, "You don't care?" I'm like, "Well, it doesn't make me happy." And I'm like truthful with that. And I mean, I don't know, that can make me whatever kind of person, but it's not that I don't want her to be happy. It's just like when she is, it's not like, oh, I'm happy. I'm not that good a person, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know if it's being a good person. I just think like for me, I don't know if it's reactive. I don't know. I truly love joy. I love seeing people like see something funny out in public and like watching them laugh. It's like I get such joy. I mean, babies, geez, they kill me. I'm not even a dog person. And the other day, a guy was driving and his little dog's head was out the window. And I was just like, "You're the cutest dog I've ever seen in my life. Bye, doggy." Like, I mean, I had a full blown conversation with this dog because he was so joyful. It made me joyful. Oh, my favorite moment of the summer was a guy was driving like an absolute lunatic in front of me. And I always have my windows down when I'm driving because I hate air conditioning in the car. And I was like, what is this person? I'm like talking out loud. I'm like, what is this person doing? You're a lunatic. You're an absolute lunatic. You're a cuckoo person. And not realizing I was in a double lane road. And the guy next to me had his windows and I went, you're right. That guy's absolutely crazy. And I was like, ah! And then we just laughed together, stayed at the stop sign, laughing our butts off. And I was like, you have the best days, like you too. And then we just like went separate ways. But it was just like, it's like I just made a friend and I don't know his name. And it was just a great moment. God, I love being alive. Oh, yeah, that's me. That's me when I'm like living on life. It's a wild ride. It's fun though. It's fun.
Yeah. Well, that's a
I'm
much
living at
better.
Pittsburgh's level.
Yeah. It's a much better attitude than the the opposite, the resentful, the never finding
Oh,
the happy. I think I'm a balance. I'll say that. I'm a work in progress because I mean, hell, I don't love kids, but there are some days recently I'm like, now that's a cute baby. Like I'll find some I will have my moments. But like I think I'm allowing life to kind of it's gotten a little, and maybe it was always there. The Gen Xer in me, the I won't, not I don't want to like say too much about mom, but mom's my mom wouldn't be the type that would be like, well, good for them. My mom would have been like, well, oh, they won. It was more that. And I love my mother to death. I love her dearly, but like there was a bit of like, a different vibe, let's just say. So I will admit I struggle with that. There's still a little bitterness in me. I'm not seeing as much joy as I'd like to, but maybe who knows? Maybe that's why I need to have my business that I have so that I can put out the joy and work on, getting more sunshine in my own life too.
you're always working on it though, Janine, and that I think is a credit to you. You know what I mean? How many people, first of all, don't even like aren't even aware, right? They're just like the most miserable people in the world and don't even think there's something they could be doing, right? And then there's like people who are always out there pitching and trying, and that's you. And you are going through real stuff that would make anyone uncomfortable, irritated, lots of things. So I say give yourself all the grace in the world. You're killing it because you're still trying every day to be good, help others, and be out there spreading joy. So, hey, here's a Janine appreciation little monologue from Gab.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you very
welcome.
much.
It's the truth.
Thank you. I
It's
will say to your point before about with your mom when she was sick and finding the humor. I haven't shared too much about my dad, but my dad's going through something now, and I don't think we've talked since then. I will share this because I have told friends, and mom's like, "Oh, sure, make fun of us," but she knows I do that for my act anyway. They're always in my act, but my dad had a procedure, and it was a thoracentesis. They took out fluid from his lung. And my mom, messages me the one day. She's like, I really want you to look at your dad's back. Something's not right. And I said, well, does it look infected? Is it red? Is there like, stuff coming out? Like, what's going on? No, it's like raised. And I just don't know what's wrong. It just looks weird. So I'm over the house a day later or whatever. And she says, Joe, lift up your shirt. And I look and I go, Jesus Christ, mom, that's a Band-Aid. Well, we laughed and laughed and laughed because they did not, it was flesh colored and it was on for like 2 days or whatever. And it had laughed like it was such really strong adhesive. They did not realize that that's what it was. So it was like 2 or 3 days and it was like, it didn't come off. And I'm like, I literally, those were my exact words. Jesus Christ, it's a Band-Aid. And I mean, but in that moment, the three of us were laughing so hard. My mother was laughing later. Like, she's like, I can't believe that was a Band-Aid. And I'm like,
oh my,
mm-hmm, yeah.
oh yeah. I mean, yeah, there's just so much humor to be done. Well, I mean, you just can't help it with the mishaps that'll happen. Like at one point, my mother's having these horrible nosebleeds. She was on three different blood thinners, right? So she would just have these just awful nosebleeds, and we had a home healthcare nurse who was just like, "Oh, the next time you have one of those, Mrs. Benesso, you could your daughter could go grab a tampon, and she could shove a tampon up your nose." And my mom was like, "Oh, that would work." And they're like, "Yeah, and and if you had any problem, you could always get some KY jelly, put the KY jelly on the tampon, and then stick that up your nose." And my mom was like, "KY jelly, really?" I've never heard of this. Baby, write this down. Write down KY jelly. Have you ever heard of KY jelly? And I said, if you said KY jelly one more time, I'm going to kill everyone. We're all dying. We're all dying, mother. Yeah, it was those kind of moments. Those kind of moments with mom. It's joyous. You ever heard of KY jelly? I have. I have. And I'd like you to stop saying it, please, for the love of
It's
God.
on my radar. I've heard of it,
Yeah,
right?
I heard it once or twice. I just really, you to stop saying it, though. That'd be so cool. Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Oh man. I think that's where we have to and I'll wrap it up here soon, but like where we get into and we won't get into it too much like we referred to earlier about people's opinions and what's right or what's wrong. I think a lot of people are afraid maybe to find the humor in those moments, or I don't know if they're afraid, maybe that, and I don't want to try to assess that and think that I know better, but or maybe it's just not natural for some people to look for the humor, to see the humor, or that's not how their mind works. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's those folks I have a little issue with, where it's like the judgment of like, you shouldn't be laughing. No, no, you absolutely should be laughing. Like if you can find the humor when someone's ill or they're dying, or, and it's not at their expense, obviously, but there's something there, there's bonding, it's healing, it is resilience. And I just think it's really important and valuable.
I agree. I really do. And back to my father not being the most upbeat patient. He hated that stuff. No laughing in a hospital room. He was the kind of guy we'd go to the cemetery, don't step on the graves, like very, but like he was the most rebellious person in every other aspect. But when it came to like trees, the one where the one day we were at church and I said, "Oh, Dad, look, there's Todd," and he yelled at me and said, "Never say that again in church." And I was so confused. And I was like, "Dad, why am I not allowed to say Todd in church? Is he a devil worshiper?" And it was my cousin's ex-boyfriend. I didn't know what was happening. And he's like, Todd, oh, I thought you said you saw God. And you can't say that in church. What? Like my father was so weird, Janine. You have no idea. Oh, yeah.
You can't say you saw God in church. That's
I think he
interesting.
thought that they'd think I was like, well, I am, but they would have thought I had mental illness. But if I'm like,
They would lock you
God,
up. I just saw God.
oh my God. He was so mad at me too. I was like, what did this guy do to Lisa? Like, I was so confused.
No Todd, no God. Got a kid?
You don't say that in church. All right, God, Todd, I don't know. Help. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad.
Oh man.
Woo. Parental
Ah.
discipline.
As long as we can laugh. I
Yeah.
mean, that is the key. And that is truly like something that, no one can really take from us. So that's what I say to people out there. Use it because no one can take that from you. It is something you have the ability to use for yourself, and it is contagious. So you can help other people with it, finding the humor, laughing together. I would strongly advise it. That would be my advice.
And I don't
So
know about you, but I don't know if you got bullied in school. I got bullied in school, but one of my favorite things is making a bully laugh. You know what I mean? Like they're razzing you, they're trying to get everyone looking at you, making you the little person, and then you come up with the thing that gets not everyone laughing, including the bully, and it's just like, I'm gonna leave right now. Thanks so much, everybody. That's my time. That's Vanessa's time. Gone. Yeah. So yeah, I do. Humor is the best weapon in moments like this. So never forget that. And everyone, if you are able to be funny, oh, it is the best weapon. Use it.
yeah, absolutely. It's the best weapon. It's the best tool, resource. It's the best way to build resilience, which is survival, really. Resilience is survival. I don't recall, I'll admit, I don't think I was really bullied in school. The only thing, and it was teasing in seventh grade. I remember the one boy, but he did like me. And although teasing does not have to equate liking, but he did, but he was like, "Oh, booby looby, don't you wish you had some," or something like that. That was what he said. Now I was like shy girl, so I would have never, I don't think I had any comebacks back then because I was too like, I will just take it, whatever. But I didn't really I didn't really get bullied too much. That's the only time I'm sure. Oh, well, here's another, I'll share this story. It was kind of a bullying moment. I think I might have even shared this before. A girl who was like, I don't know what happened. She was a bully. She threw my strawberry shortcake doll into the garbage. That happened when I was like 7 or 8, maybe. I don't know what happened and why she didn't like me, but she threw it in the garbage. I was all bummed about that.
Did you get it back?
I did, but I had to go in and like reach in and get it.
I hate when people do stuff like that. Maybe I mean, like looking back, maybe she didn't have the doll. I'm not that I'm justifying, but now, like the psychology of children, you're like, she was probably just jealous on some level of some.
Yeah, because I don't remember the real beef. I know she looked tough. Like, those kids that looked a little bit tougher. And I mean, I was a little bit of a dorky kid. I mean, I don't know if I was wearing my Mork from Mork suspenders. I had Mork and Mindy suspenders and the lunchbox. So maybe, who knows? Uh, but she had a friend with her. And I feel like we were at this hall where kids could play. So I don't even know. I feel like I was by myself at that moment. And she took the doll and threw it. And I think she was being like all tough. And it could have been one of those situations. Maybe she didn't have one. But I think the story that I was thinking of originally, and I'll blame my brother for this, one of the girls who was his age, so she was bigger than me, taller than me, and she was 2 years older. Her grandmother lived behind where we live, and I saw her smoking. And I think I mentioned it to my parents because I'm that kind of a dork. I would, of course, snitch.
Yeah.
And I think she had said something to my brother, and my brother ratted me out, which, like, he said, "Oh, yeah, she told my parents she threatened to beat me up."
What a nice big brother, by the way.
Yeah, I know. Well, I was a little snitchy type. In fact, I used to tell my parents, I still tell them now, if I'm sorry guys, if you ever involved in a murder, I have to turn you in. It's the right thing to do. I have to tell on you. I'm sorry.
No, I get it. I was a total snitch, even to like my favorite family members. I just had to. I just compulsively have to tell the truth. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah. Then it didn't serve me well sometimes. There was another kid who was ripping pages out of a textbook, and he was walking in the woods next door, and I told my dad, the kid who did it, and my dad, why he brought me, and I think he went to the parents, like, to, like, more or less say your son was ripping up and my mother was not happy, like, why did you have to get involved in all that, blah blah blah. And then I felt bad because I'm like, I was the one that had to say something about it. Yeah, so okay, now this is now just a story, the tale of Janine's ratting people out. I'm a snitch, I'm a rat.
And look, I'm a snitch. I don't tell you.
It's what I do.
Oh my gosh.
I haven't
That's
done it lately though.
you haven't had the opportunity.
Yeah, I guess that's true. That's fair. Well, as we wrap up here, so people can check out the best of Josh and Gab.
Yeah, so whatever you listen to music on, you can stream it, download it, whatever you want. We'd appreciate it. Listen to it on YouTube, wherever you listen to music. Or let's say you're making a reel on Instagram and you're like, man, I could use a song that talks about glue sticks. We have one. Or you're making a reel and you're like, oh, I'm in an amusement park. We've got a song about amusement parks. So you see what I'm saying? So you could like use our music in your reels and then our listenership goes up. So that we
So, okay, and I maybe I heard before, but I want to make sure I got it right. So when you're doing stuff on Instagram and you're scrolling through and you're picking songs, music, we can pick your song is on
you
there.
pick our songs. Yeah, yeah, that's yeah. And then it goes towards us because I don't know how all that works, but it does. Because on my album, a lot of my listens have come through TikTok or YouTube, things like that. So that's how I figured it out.
Very cool. All right. Excellent. Well, see, Oliver, now that he has the job, he won't be going to amusement parks, but while he wasn't working, he did hit a couple of them because he loves roller coasters. So I could have, like, gotten pictures of him and put the Jackrabbit song in there.
Well, I said to Josh because I feel like we're going to be near one of because there's one near you, an amusement park, right? You have Knoebel or no?
Well, Knoebels is actually, no, you know what you're going to be near in Allentown? You're going to be near, oh, Jesus, the Dorney Park.
And that's the one Josh has never been to because I'm like, Josh, we should take, on the way back, we should just go to Dorney Park, ride one ride, and then because I think Dorney Park's free. Am I crazy about that?
No, Knoebels is free.
Knoebels is free.
Yeah.
All right.
Knoebels is actually so it's about the same distance. Knoebels is still a good hour and 20 minutes, an hour and a half from me.
Oh,
But it's in a different direction. It's like Selinsgrove, it's considered. So that's more like heading towards central PA. Whereas so Scranton's here and then that's heading out here. And then Lehigh Valley is like kind of southeast, I guess you could say, where you'll
okay.
be in Allentown. But Knoebels, I was supposed to possibly meet. We never got to do it, Oliver, because he's like, oh, I know you don't love rides, but it's free to enter. He's like, so you could do whatever while I'm on the rides. And we're like, I'll sit on the bench with my lemonade, I'll play my skee ball, but we never got to do it. But yeah, I have yet to go there, but that is a place if you ever are looking for a trip with Oscar or and his mom. It's a really nice place, and like I said, it is free entry, and it's a lot of people love that place, Knoebels.
So
Yeah.
it's like closer to Penn State, basically, right?
I think you could say that, yeah, because
Okay.
Selinsgrove is headed more west, yeah. And I'll never forget their radio ad they used to have, which I feel like is no longer. It was Ka-food, Ka-fun, Ka-family, Knoebels.
Oh my gosh. I kind of love it though.
Yeah, Yeah. It's kind
We
of
should,
cool.
we should meet up in the summer because like Penn State's only like 3 hours from me.
And that's, yeah. And Knobles is like, it's about an hour and 30 for me. So,
Oh my
yeah,
gosh. We could, you, me, Ollie, we could get like a little Airbnb. It could be a fun little trip. Knobles.
I'm down. I'm down. And I'll sit there on yeah, I'll play my skee ball, have my lemonade, and just walk around.
We'll take tons of reels, put Josh and Gab music to the background. It'll be great. It's a business trip. I can write everything off.
Absolutely. But yeah, you'll be close to Dorney Park because that is in Allentown. So if you're in Allentown proper or close by, you should be real close to that.
We
Yeah.
should. I mean, I don't even know if they'd still be open after Labor Day, right?
I think, a lot of these parks do like different themes. So I feel like they do haunted stuff, but I don't know if they're going to be open on like, you know what I mean, during the week.
Right, a
They'll
random.
probably have,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Because I
Oh,
know they do haunted stuff.
yeah. No, we're excited. We've never, this is our first time in Allentown, like doing stuff. So,
Very cool. Well,
yeah,
please
we're
keep me
excited.
posted of anything east so I can try to catch up with you. But thank you so much. And for anybody who does have a role at a school district or some, organization with kids and you would possibly like to hire Josh and Gab, Gab, where can is the best place they can check you out?
Best place is joshandgab.com, and you can book us directly from there, look at videos, read testimonials, find our album, our YouTube page, and all our social media from that site.
Excellent. Well, yeah. So, folks listening, if you have you're in charge of the PTA, or you've got the principal's ear, or superintendent, or something fun for a big event for kids, consider Josh and Gab. They're a lot of fun, and they have a positive message. And boy, isn't that a cool thing to have? I think that's great. So, thank you as always. A pleasure talking with you, Gab. I really appreciate you.
Thanks for having me, Janine.
Thank you. And for my listeners, we've got, I was telling Gab before I hit the record button, a lot of great guests coming up. Right now, what I'm doing is kind of jockeying. It's like one of those, okay, what dates are you available? Here's my dates. We're doing a lot of that, but I assure you there will still be great guests coming ahead. In fact, there's one woman I'm really excited. It's going to be like a two-parter. She created a documentary called Loud Enough, and it's about one woman's story. I want to say Missouri. I could be wrong, so don't quote me on that. But the documentary is loud enough, and it is about one woman's story about being sexually assaulted, and basically the law in her town there not really believing her and taking it to trial. And she was able to, thanks to the laws in, I think, whether it's the state or the city, she was able to get a grand jury on her own. And because her family believed in her, she believed in herself. So I'm going to be talking to the documentary maker and the young woman who pursued this. That's going to be kind of like one episode as soon as we can get that schedule. And then the other side of it is going to be the retired SVU attorney who does a lot with that, talking about the legal side of all of that. So those are two things I'm working on getting scheduled. I'm really excited about because I think we really need to talk more about that on getting justice for yourself when others tend to fail you, and know that you can keep fighting for yourself and for your rights. So that's coming up. Lots of other great women. If you would like to be a guest on the show, or if you know someone who would like to be a guest and you think, wow, that, Shirley over at the such and such is such a great gal, she should be on there, reach out to me, let me know. And if you would like to support this kind of content, let me know. I have a variety of sponsorship packages, and I even have those $20 shout outs, the patron sponsorship ads. And I guess I'll end it there and just say, as I say every week, I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart and the bottom of my wine glass.